We're into March now, 2026, and as per usual, we're going to bring you the stats from the previous month in the Sarnia-Lambton real estate market. And those that don't know me, I'm Sean Ryan with the Blue Coast team and Coldwell Banker Southwest Realty. And we've been bringing these market updates for consistently probably 5 to 6 years now, never missed a month. And love to hear some feedback of what we're doing, how we're doing it, what you'd like to see different. And I changed the format this month as well a little bit, and love to see, if there's any changes or anything that you recommend as well as that. So we're going to go into a lot of numbers because the market is a lot different last month than previous years, and we're starting to see some really interesting changes as well. And I'd love to hear your take and maybe a comment or feedback on it. So first, let's look at residential sales year to date, 171, and compared to last year, it was 200, so a little behind on that. Number sales for the month, 90. Last year, 103. So again, we're behind on that as well. And current active listings, 240. New listings, 240. So more new listings. And then new residential listings for the previous year was 227. Months of inventory, we're sitting at 6.6 months of inventory right now. And some context of what that means for you and what that means for the market is 0 to 3 months is that seller's market. 3 to 6 months is the balance market. 6 months plus is very much a buyer's market. So 6.6 months, you're like, wait a minute, Sean, does that mean the market is a buyer's market right now? And it really depends on the price range you're shopping in right now. So I want to break down some different price ranges for you and really look at where months of inventory are right now and what we're seeing in those different segments. So I broke it down into 6 different market segments and price points in the Sarnia-Lambton real estate market. So the first price bracket I brought down is 0 to 400,000. Yes, we still have a lot of homes available under 400,000 in Sarnia-Lambton for anyone watching out of town. So we have 149 active listings, 38 sold last month, and that puts us actually at 3.92 months of inventory, and about 26% of those homes are selling. 4 to 600,000, we had 104 active, 31 sold, and that puts us at 3.3 months of inventory, about 30% of those selling. So 6 to 800,000, we're seeing we had 80 active, 8 sold, and about 10 months of inventory. So you can see that jump in the months of inventory as we go into different price ranges, and only 10% of those are selling. So 800 to a million, 50 active, only 3 sold last month, 16 months of inventory in that price range. Once you get to 800 to a million to 1.3, there's 34 active listings, that 1 sold last month. So that technically puts you at 34 months of inventory, and 1.3 plus 25 active, 0 sold. So what's that mean for the market and the price ranges in this month of inventory and all these numbers I just spit off? The market really, if you're trying to time the market and do something right now, is those people that have a home 600,000 and under, first-time home buyer category, that are selling. If it's priced well and the house is in good shape, they're getting top dollar and the house is selling really fast. Then they're moving up to that next price range of 800 plus. Lots of different opportunities, lots of different choices. They're really even 600 plus, where you have selection, you can negotiate, you can get some really good terms. So if you're going to time the market, and I always recommend not to time the market, but if you're going to, if you have a home to sell, that's that first-time home buyer price range 600 under, and you're moving up, really good opportunities right now. So current average list price is 476,657 compared to last year, 540,000. So down quite a bit as well there. Average days on market, 28, very similar. Last year was 25, and average sale price is 457. So this is year to date. So I found this very interesting because last year's average sale price was 522,000. So we're down about 12% for this month of the average sale price. List to sale ratio, 96%. Last year was 96.6. And then sales volume this month was 38.1 million, 78.8 million year to date. So this is very interesting. Sales volume last year for this month, 54.1 million, year to date 101.9 million. So we're behind this year right now compared to last year by 22 million roughly. So that's quite a big jump for Sarnia-Lambton. Number of expired's very on par, 33 last month, 37 last year. So what are we seeing overall in the market right now? Is we're starting to see some changes. I think we're seeing a lot of people that are sitting on the fence wondering what to do. But in this last week or so, I've seen a lot of people kind of getting off the fence more. But if we break this down a bit more into home style type bungalows, most popular in Sarnia, 28 of them sold. Average sale price there is 430,000. Story and a halves are very popular as well. 14 of those very popular in that Tree Street area. A lot of wartime houses. 2 stories, only 10. Raised ranches, 7. And then all the other categories, there was about 9 homes for sale. So overall, the Sarnia-Lambton real estate market, I'd say, is pretty healthy. We're behind from last year. Prices are down a little bit compared to last year by about 12%, but I think it really depends on the category, and it just takes 1 or 2 bigger homes to sell. And I think last month, since we had almost zero activity, really 800 plus, there's only 3 sales last month. So that tells me there was very little inventory in that market. So that would really push that average sale price down. It would be very interesting to see what the stats look like in March as we look at the whole quarter. If March starts to pick up a little bit, and from the activity I've been seeing on our listings and on the buyers and what I'm seeing on the marketplace right now, I think it's a very good possibility that is going to happen. So let's look at a couple other things that we're seeing right now in real estate news and maybe some changes that are coming as well. So the federal government Build Canada Home Act, it was introduced February 5th, 2026. The Crown Corporation really building affordable homes. So deploying 13 billion. There's already 6 cities that have projects approved: Dartmouth, Longueuil, probably butchered that, Ottawa, Toronto, Winnipeg, Edmonton. So nothing here in Sarnia. Toronto's pretty close to Sarnia, right? We're 2.5 hours, 3 hours away. So that may affect that. Up to 3,000 new homes announced for just Ottawa alone. So love to hear your feedback. Do you think it's good, bad? Will the federal government come due on their promise on building homes? And a really interesting one that will affect Sarnia if it does, and that is the federal provincial GST HST rebate for first-time home buyers on new homes. So it's going to be broken down in 2 parts. This will be the federal part. It's a full rebate up to 5%. The GST part of the HST of a new homes up to $1 million, and then a partial rebate for homes between $1 million and 1.5. So Sarnia definitely fits into that $1 million under. So a first-time home buyer could save $50,000 on a new home. Ontario is talking about matching that as well. That rebate is still as a proposed bill. Nothing's been passed yet. Nothing's really come into action on both of these. There is talks of being able to go back and get it if you did buy in the last little bit. I don't have the exact dates there. Who knows what's going to happen there. So if the whole HST comes off and the provincial matches, we're talking about $130,000 for qualifying first-time home buyers for those new home builds. So that could be really big for first-time home buyers getting into the new home construction market. I know you're thinking, who can afford a home for $1 million, $1.5 million? There is a lot of people doing that in that first-time home buyer price category, but that could be 600,000. We have new homes in Sarnia starting at 589.9. Actually, on our Nice project, we only have 10 of those units left, and they come with the appliances. So really good deal for that first-time home buyer. So what we're seeing right now in the market, as we wrap this up a little bit, Sarnia market stays steady. It's very flat over the last year, continues to be that way. There's a lot of people right now sitting on the edge wondering what to do. So definitely, I think if you're a first-time home buyer, there's still some great opportunities there. I think as things pick up and get busier in the spring market, it is going to be a lot different. And again, if you have that first-time home buyer home to sell, moving up, you really own the market right now. Biggest mistake I'm seeing right now in the market, especially with first-time home buyers, is they're not really sitting down with somebody and doing a buyer consult, really looking at what their needs are today, but what their future needs are. I'm watching a lot of people make maybe some irresponsible choices and purchases because they're not doing their homework on things. I had a person the other day that wanted to sell their home, and I talked them out of it because we really deep dived into where they're going and where they need to go and what their future plans are. And it just didn't make sense for them to move, actually, not for another few more years, because we helped them really break down the finances on that. So make sure you're doing your homework. If you're buying or selling in the market, any marketplace, make sure you're sitting down, maybe talking to a few people, interviewing a few people, looking at their history, looking at their credentials. And I want you to think about one more thing before we go here, okay? There's 330 agents in the Sarnia-Lambton market. Okay. So sales year to date are 171. So a lot of agents haven't even sold a home this year. Most haven't. Most average agent sells about 4.1 houses a year in North America. Most of them never even list a home. They only deal with buyers, or maybe there's leases in there. So just make sure you're doing the homework, make sure you're interviewing, make sure they have a track record, make sure they know what they're doing, and make sure they understand the market right now of what it takes to really sell a home and keep things going. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Welcome home to the Blue Coast. And well, remember to put Sean on your lawn. And I'd love for you to like and share this message. Comment below. Love to hear some feedback on it. And till next time, see ya.